Hello and welcome back to Little Gems Crochet Co. Today I'm going to show you how to make this halter neck top with an open back. Honestly, this is so easy, you can definitely have this top done and ready for summer. So let's take a look at how to do this. What you will need is some chunky yarn. I am using the DMC Natural XL Just Cotton and I ended up using 2 balls of this yarn, a 6mm hook, some scissors and a tapestry needle. To start off, create a slip knot and place it on your hook. Then chain 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now we are going to do a double crochet into the second chain from the hook. So into this stitch right here. So yarn over, insert through and do your double crochet. And this is the start of your mesh stitch. So to continue this, you need to chain 2. And then on your original chain, skip the next 2 chains and go into the third chain with another double crochet. And now you should have a square shape like so. Now we chain 2 again and skip 2 of the chains underneath and go into the third chain with another double crochet. Continue repeating these steps and I will meet you at the end of the row. Once you reach the end, you will need to have 2 double crochets into stitches next to each other. This is fine as we are going to gradually increase the number of stitches per row. Then to start the next row, we're going to chain 2 and then turn our work. So we're going to half double crochet into that same stitch. And then chain 2. And then skip 2 of the stitches from the previous row and do our double crochet into the third stitch, which is this one here. And then once again repeating the pattern of chaining 2 and then doing a double crochet into the third stitch along. Continue this pattern and I will meet you at the end of the row. And this is what your top should start to look like after you finish your second row. Don't worry about it looking a bit squished right now. It will space out when you wear it. So now to start your third row, we're going to chain 2 and turn your work. And we're going to start by doing our double crochet into that first stitch and then continuing on with our mesh stitch as we have the previous 2 rows. Once you have finished row 3, repeat this 3 times more so you have 6 rows of mesh stitch and I will meet you at the end of row 6. So now we're going to stop our mesh stitch as we don't want it see through the whole way down, but we are going to keep increasing the number of stitches in each row as we carry on. So to start row 7, chain 2 and then turn your work. Now do a half double crochet into that first stitch. We've been doing double crochets up until this point, so make sure it is a half double crochet. And now do another half double crochet into that same stitch. Now we want to continue doing half double crochets across the entire row, so I will meet you at the end of the row. And like we did at the start of the row, in the final stitch do 2 half double crochets. That's 1 and 2. Repeat the steps for the previous row for rows 8 to 23 and I will meet you at the end of row 23. Now your top should be looking like this. But now we've got the middle section of our top done, we're going to go back to our mesh stitch which we started with. So start by chaining 2 and turning the work. Then doing our double crochet into that first stitch. Chaining 2 and doing a double crochet into the third stitch along from the previous row. Repeat the steps we did for the mesh stitch at the beginning for rows 1 to 6 and repeat them again for rows 24 to 29. Once you reach the end of row 29, cut a long tail of yarn and weave it in, as the main body section is now completed. Now to create the strap that goes around your neck, we're going to start again with a slip knot and we're going to chain 90. Yes, that is 90, not 19. So I will meet you at the end when you've finished your 90 chains. Now you have completed your 90 chains, what we're going to do is single crochet back down along that chain. Like so. So, like always, I will meet you at the end of the row. Once you have completed that, we have finished making the chain, so now you just need to cut a long tail on your yarn and weave it in. Again, like I've said previously, there's not necessarily a right or wrong way to do this. Just make sure you've left a long enough tail to be able to weave in enough that it won't come loose when you're tying it around your neck, etc. Now to attach the strap to the rest of your top, fold it in half and find the middle. And then what you want to do is grab your project and make sure the middle of your chain lines up with the middle at the top of your project, like so. It doesn't matter if it's slightly off because at the end of the day this will be tied in a bow around your neck, but I did use a crochet marker to mark where the stitches need to line up. Then what you're going to do is grab your hook again, and what we are going to do is slip stitch the two pieces together so they are nice and secure. So as you can see, I've gone through the first corner and I'm going to bring that through, and then I'm just going to slip stitch into every stitch along the top row there. Just be extra aware that you don't miss any stitches on either the top or the strap, just so then you'll have a super even look. Continue your slip stitch and I will meet you at the end of the row. And once again, cut a long tail and weave in the end of the yarn. And then this is the top section of your top finished. Now to do the straps that go around your waist. If you didn't cut off the ends of the bottom section, then you can just carry on with the yarn as is. If not, you can just insert your hook into the corner, do a slip stitch, a single crochet, and then carry on as usual. What we're going to do here now though is just do a chain of 50, and then at the end cut a tail about 2 inches long and just tie a knot in the end and leave the end as like a tassel. Repeat these steps on the other side so you have 2 straps that wrap around and tie around your waist. And now you have your finished halter neck open back top, ready in time for summer. I hope you found this video helpful. You can download written instructions for this top via littlegemscrochetco.co.uk. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and to check out my other social channels.